Hello, Virgos. Welcome to your monthly zodiac reading for the month of August 2025. As always, we are going to pull an overall energy theme. We will pull tarot for each week. We will discuss those tarot cards as well as discuss the astrological transits occurring during those weeks and where they're going to be impacting you based on the Virgo rising sign. So we will then clarify with more tarot as well as wrap it up with some additional oracle guidance. So let's see what Virgos need to know for the month of August. Y'all see that? I love it when that happens. Ooh, that's two. I think you guys got two last time. Your hard work is paying off and hold your vision. So what I love most about these two cards, one, your hard work is paying off. This is the new moon energy in Capricorn. New moons are new beginnings, right? So the hard work that you've been cultivating, what you've really been working towards, is ultimately starting a new beginning. Okay. Capricorn is all about longevity. It's all about getting to that mountaintop, right? The sea goat starts at the bottom within the water and they work their way up towards the top of the mountain. And hold your vision, a fixed energy. Fixed is it's singular, like it's not going anywhere. It's fixed in place. So this, I think, essentially these two are kind of saying, like, don't give up what it is that you've been working towards. Like, it's right there, you're almost there. Like, don't give up, hold your vision, because the work and the energy that you've been investing in is ultimately going to pay off for you in the long run. So if you've been second guessing yourself, wondering like, when is this going to happen for me, when is this going to happen, your hard work is paying off. Capricorn is very much an energy. It's not like big changes that you see. It's not like big monumentous moments. These are more like little moments, big pictures created by little moments. There we go. That works. So just hold the vision, right? Because your hard work is paying off. So that is what this month is ultimately trying to get you to do. So let's see what blessings or challenges are going to be accompanied with that energy this month. Here in the first week, the Tower. You guys are starting off the month with a bang. So the Tower represents unexpected change. It is symbolic of the foundations that we're currently standing on are no longer going to suffice or sustain us moving forward. And so the divine comes along and kind of knocks that. I just imagine like a kid playing blocks and they want to build something else. So they have to knock those blocks down in order to reuse those pieces. That's kind of what's coming to mind. But the Tower can represent unexpected changes. This is a major arcana card. And so anytime we experience this energy, it's typically due to the fact that we've either some way strayed or have strayed away from our path, or we've strayed away from the vision, or just we're about to level up and the foundations or the blocks that we've been using to create the dream or the vision are no longer going to sustain us. They need to evolve in some way. This can also come in the form of a revelation, like a realization and epiphany, so to speak. This is the week that on the 6th, Mars is moving within the sign of Libra. Mars is not comfortable in Libra. Mars is moving into a Venus-ruled sign. So Venus will have dominance here, and Mars isn't comfortable there. Mars is the planet of action, aggression, power, and control. And Libra is the sign of relationships, right? But Libra is also known as the activist. It's also a mediator, right? We typically see good lawyers or good judges have this sign because of the scales. Libra is all about balance and harmony and their tendency to want to see fairness applied across the board. Mars moving into Libra Libra is the masculine side of Venus, so it can make Libra a little headstrong in this case if not taken if not, if, what am I trying to say here? If you're not mindful, it can come across as too domineering and almost self-righteous, right? We don't want to do that. But Mars and Libra can also make it to where you're more apt to take control of the reins in order to maintain the balance and harmony that's required, not just for you, but for others around you. For you guys, Libra is moving into your second house. This is your house of finances or financial investments, material possessions, value systems, and self-worth and money, right? So there could be a really big drive to get that bag, so to speak, to make that money, to really secure and to dominate this area of your life. Just be mindful that you don't bulldoze over others in order to do so. All right. We are also expecting a full moon within the sign of Aquarius on the 9th. Full moons are a buildup of energy, and the sign of Aquarius sits in your 6th house. This is your day-to-day routines. So this could be something is coming to a sense of completion. Something is building up to a culmination here around your day-to-day routines, your health, and your work habits, right? Something is shifting and something needs to change. If we're looking at your day-to-day work habits, something is going to come along and is going to force your routine to have to change. Okay, but the reason it's having to change is because it's meant to shift you in a different direction. Let's see, the second week, the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands can definitely be about persevering, endurance, protecting your energy, even like holding boundaries, basically holding those boundaries and staying steadfast in the face of obstacles. This is the week that Mercury is going to go direct within the sign of Leo after a period of 2.5, 3-week retrograde. Mercury is the planet of thoughts, ideas, communication, and messages, and it's been in the sign of Libra for almost a month now, or not Libra, but Leo. Leo for you guys sits in your 12th house. This is the house of the unknown. This is the house of the unconscious or the subconscious. This is where things like our mental health, our faith, our dreams, our addictions, our escapism. This is where all of those things lie. Anything underneath the surface hides in this house. So with Mercury going direct, it could be that you're kind of creating this epiphany is kind of coming forward, and you're realizing maybe what it is that you need to do in order to, it's almost like you're conquering those fears, is kind of what it feels like. Because Leo is the sign of nobility, royalty, strength, confidence, right? So you're conquering those fears. You're conquering maybe that own self-talk that may have been preventing you or causing a sense of doubt. This is also the week that we have a very auspicious transit occurring. You're probably going to hear people talk about this is going to be the luckiest day of the year, and it probably will be, but luck may appear different for everyone. Venus, the planet of love, money, beauty, value, is moving or is making a conjunction to the sign of Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, and growth and expansion. And this is happening within the sign of Cancer. Cancer is your 11th house. This is your house of social circles, networks, hopes and dreams, like your aspirations, as well as humanitarian work, like focusing on the betterment of society, right? For you guys, I think this has more to do with Mercury going direct in Libra. So we'll see what the other cards have to say. But just be on the lookout, friend circles, hopes and dreams, like catching a lucky break when it comes to what it is that you want for your future. Okay. Here in the third week, we have the 7 of Cups. There's a lack of clarity, and the 7 of Cups is kind of like that shiny object syndrome. Everything that is hidden within the cup, whether that's power, money, desire, relationships, love, like whatever it is that's filling those cups, not everything that glitters is gold. Okay, not all of those cups are going to be as fulfilling as they seem in that moment. And as a result, there's a struggle to know which path to choose with the 7 of Cups because they all seem very appealing. Virgo season begins, your season begins on the 22nd. So anytime we shift into a new astrological season, the signs or the themes and qualities of that sign will take center stage. For you guys, this is about refinement, mastery, organization, right? Focusing on those smaller details in a way that make things run smoother. Now, the shadow side of that is that it can be prone to overthinking, being focused too much on perfectionism, and also becoming overly critical of yourself or others. So, Virgo season begins on the 22nd, and on the 23rd, immediately following that season shift, we have a new moon within the sign of Virgo. New moons are blank slates or blank opportunities to set intentions or to plant seeds for things that we want to grow towards, right? Again, Virgo for you guys sits in your first house. Maybe how do you associate with the idea of perfection? How do you associate with the ideas of organization? How do you associate what is it that you want to refine? What do you want to master when it comes to this new moon cycle? What is it that you're looking to master? What are you looking to perfect, so to speak? This is also happening at the 0 degree. So this means that anything is possible when it comes to this new moon. Anything is possible when it comes to this new moon. Anytime something is at a 0 degree, it's essentially a blank slate on top of the energy of a new moon, which also means a blank slate. So really anything is possible. Anything that you want to work towards and begin, like set a new beginning towards, is like it's in your grasp and you can take control of that. On the last week, we've got Venus moving into the sign of Leo. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is known as the architect of the tarot. When we think of architects, we think of blueprints. We think of plans, detailed plans on how we're going to construct something. What needs to happen? What is something going to look like? This card also symbolizes maybe seeking the advice of someone who has built the thing that you're looking to build. So someone who has maybe expertise in something that you're wanting to work towards. It is also representing collaboration and community, as well as effective communication when it comes towards a singular goal. Okay. This is the week, like I said, Venus is moving into the sign of Leo. Leo is sitting in your 12th house. This could be that Venus moving into this house of the unconscious or house of the subconscious is bringing forward a dream to maybe work with others, right? It's like, oh, I really value working with other people. How can I utilize that energy? How can I make that happen? I want to work in a more collaborative space. I want to work with other people, or I want to have other people work with me. How can I go about making that happen? And who would I want to work with? How do I want to incorporate other people into what it is that I want to do? So just keep an eye out on those energies. Let's see what clarifying energy we can get for each week. Here in the first week, we've got the Tower, the High Priestess. So with this change, or when something is going to be required to shift, something is going to be required to transform. And I say transform because we've got the butterflies there. There's something that they go through a metamorphosis. They go through a very deep change. Listen to your intuition. Now, this unexpected change is going to trigger your intuition, and it's actually going to heighten it, which would be super cool. The full moon in Aquarius could really heighten your intuition. Or this unexpected shift is actually going to require you to tap into your intuition more on a daily basis. Because remember, the full moon is happening within the sign of Aquarius. This is your daily habits, your health habits, and your work habits. Listening to your intuition. It could be that your health habits need to take on a more intuitive stance. Listening to your body when it comes to, what do I need right now? Do I need sleep? Do I need greens? Do I need more water? Do I need sunshine? Listening to your body when it comes to your health habits, work habits. Aquarius isn't so much structured as like the earth signs are. Aquarius is an air sign and it's very kind of detached. So when it comes to your work habits, it could be that maybe you need to work a little bit more with AI, right? Aquarius is the future, right? These are all ways that this energy can manifest. But either way, it almost feels like a revelation versus a physical change. But there's something, you're going to come into this state of realization that maybe using your intuition more on a daily basis and maybe less of the logical mind is actually going to bode well for you. But don't doubt it. Like, listen to your intuition, trust yourself. The high priestess is here and she's direct. And I just realized this entire week is all major arcana. So this is a big week for you. This is a very, very big week for you. Make sure that you're listening to your intuition. Don't doubt yourself. Strength is in reverse. So that means that fear and anxiety are definitely going to creep in. But if you can just hold on to that intuition, if you can tap into that divine faith and recognize that whatever is changing, whatever needs to change is for the highest good of all, you should be able to overcome that fear and overcome that nagging of self-doubt. Again, especially when it comes to listening to your intuition, okay? I really do feel not so much the Mars and Libra transit is going to reveal itself, but I definitely feel like the full moon within the sign of Aquarius. I do think that they go hand in hand. However, I do think that the full moon in Aquarius here in this first week is going to be the very thing that prompts this shift. Okay? So around the 9th, a couple days before, and even a couple days after, pay very close attention to what your intuition is trying to tell you. Here in the second week, the Seven of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. Continue to hang on to that perseverance. Continue to fight in the face of adversity or in the face of challenge, because there's a new opportunity here, specifically maybe when it comes to your career, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to building a sense of security and structure with the Ace of Pentacles. But this is in reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles, it's still in development. Either the opportunity is not ready yet or you're not ready. But ultimately, this will turn direct probably within the span of around 30 days, probably when the next new moon or the next full moon cycle begins. Let's see, the 9, yeah, so just keep, the 9 of Wands is known as the wounded warrior. You're fighting, you're tired, you're doing the same old thing day in and day out, and you're exhausted, but you're not ready to give up. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Seven of Wands. Continue to stand strong, protect your energy, maintain your boundaries, and continue to persevere. Hold your vision, persevere through what it is that you're trying to work through. Again, especially when it comes to your mental health, maybe even your spiritual development, your dreams, because the Ace of Pentacles has presented itself. The opportunity is coming, but it's just not ready. It's almost like when you buy a tomato from the grocery store or from a farmer's market and you have to sit it in the windowsill for like a couple weeks to make sure that it gets good and ripe for it to taste exactly the way you want, if that makes sense. And then of course the nine of Wands, maybe feeling a little guarded, feeling a little frustrated and a little tired, but you're not ready to give up. And you shouldn't. The energy is telling you, don't give up. Just keep persevering towards what it is that you want to work towards. Here in the third week, the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups. and the Nine of Pentacles. Isn't that lovely? 7, 8, 9. So here in the when Virgo season begins and with the new moon in Virgo, like the energy itself is going to play out step by step. You're going to see it evolve. One thing's going to occur and that's going to lead to another thing, and then that's going to lead to another thing, and it's going to occur step by step. Okay? But the Seven of Cups is kind of like I said, not everything that glitters is gold, and you're not quite sure what it is that you really want to invest your time into. And with the Eight of Cups, it could be that you need to go kind of like on this spiritual journey within yourself to really see which of these cups is fulfilling. Because the thing about this is, I've seen another tarot reader do this, is that not every cup is full. Some of these are very empty and some of them are full. So you're kind of walking away from the ones that feel kind of hollow, walking away from the ones that are not going to contribute to the sense of stability, structure, and independence that you're looking for here with the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is associated with Venus in Virgo. Venus is value. What do we value? And then investing your time in that, refining that, because the Lady of Leisure, the Nine of Pentacles, she's focusing on the things that she values. And for her, that's her health, her financial stability, the things that bring her comfort. This is focusing on her self-development. This is focusing on her independence, on her groundedness, and the stability in her relationships. Those are the things that she values. But the moral of this story is that if you want to create that sense of luxury and freedom within your life, Virgo is about refinement and mastery. So we are looking at refining what I value, not what feels good or what feels like or what has the potential to feel good, but what is actually going to add value to my life. What do I value? That is what needs to be focused on. And then here in the fourth week, the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, interesting, and the Three of Swords. Okay. So this is what I'm going to say is not going to apply to everyone. So if it doesn't resonate with you, I'm going to try and read the message two ways. Venus is all about love, and she's moving into the sign of Leo, which is sitting in this 12th house. This is, again, fear, hidden enemies, which typically I associate the hidden enemy with people who are around us but kind of talk negatively about us, or who are a little judgmental around our lives that we're not really sure. People who gossip about us, basically, or people who discuss our business without us knowing it, without us being aware of it. Those are kind of like hidden enemies. We also see things of our own self-sabotage because we're looking at the subconscious. Our subconscious tendencies can create our own wounds, so to speak, can create our own undoing. This also is, the 12th house is also known as the house of self-undoing, which is, again, attributed to the self-sabotage. Some of you, it could be that when Venus moves into Leo, you are either going to entertain and communicate and collaborate with a third party in the context of a relationship, and that's going to create an unhealthy balance within a partnership that could end in heartache. This is either going to be you, or you're going to find out that the person you're talking to or the person you're working with, building a relationship with, is the one who could potentially be discussing, you know what I mean? And it could be that the person you're in a relationship with is discussing the relationship business with another person, and it could deeply feel like a sense of betrayal. Okay, it could even manifest that way. This even could be that a dear close friend, someone that you feel close with, someone that you confide in, is the one revealing your secrets. Okay, and it feels like this sense of heartache and betrayal here. And what it is that with the Lovers in reverse, you may need to think about walking away. Now, this can also play out in a way of that maybe what you think you've wanted towards like building your future is maybe based on a dream that someone else had. Like with the Lovers in reverse, the Lovers in reverse is all about making choices that are for your highest good, putting self-love above all else. And that's going to require you to maybe, that could be a really difficult dream. It could be a really difficult thing to pull away from mentally, right? But just keep that in mind that when Venus moves into Leo, it's going to trigger, it feels like some sort of event where you're going to realize that maybe the dream you've been pursuing wasn't yours, right? Or it's going to come about that maybe you realize someone close and trusted, a close friend, a lover, romantic partner, something like that, you're going to potentially find out that maybe they've been betraying your trust in some way by communicating or discussing the relationship issues with another person. And it could feel very much like a sting, okay? Or it could be that you're the one doing that. So just keep in mind that for the most part, the entire month looks, I don't want to say easygoing, but there's definitely opportunity for growth here. The fourth week, though, is probably going to be the most challenging. Definitely going to be the most challenging, okay? Emotional baggage. So the emotional baggage probably is going to be clearly coming from strength in reverse. So this emotional baggage is going to come around the ego, pride, anxiety, fear, and doubt. Probably a lot of self-doubt, because we also see doubt having a playing out here in the second week as well. But the full moon in Aquarius is going to bring about, it feels like, this sense of realization, almost like an epiphany. And you're going to need to trust your intuition fully and wholeheartedly. Do not allow your emotional baggage, or even the emotional baggage of other people, don't let it cause you to doubt yourself, right? Here in the second week, connect with nature. Get out in nature, allow yourself to, it feels almost like reconnect to your purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? What was your ultimate goal moving forward? Again, because we are looking at wands and even pentacles, we're definitely looking in the context of career, finances, long-term vision, and even relationships. So what's my long-term vision when it comes to the kind of relationships I want in my life? What is my long-term vision when it comes to my financial stability or security? What is my long-term vision when it comes to what am I trying to build and grow towards, right? So connect with nature. Again, this is a big week on like recognizing that the opportunity is there for you. It's just still in development. Either the opportunity is not ready or you're not ready, and the universe is trying to get you ready. There is always a way. So even if the path forward feels unclear, you need to walk it anyway. You need to walk it anyway and focus on refining the things that you value. Focus on investing the things that you're actually valuing in your life. But there's always a way. There's always a way. And in here in the last week, Jar of Dreams. Like I said, maybe there's this realization that the dream you've been working towards isn't yours. And that can feel like a very sharp sting. It could probably result in being like, I should have known better. Now I've invested this time, I've invested this energy, I've done all these things. And it turns out that what I really thought I wanted wasn't mine to begin with. Maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a lover, someone close to you that was like, yeah, you should really do this, you should really do that. It's pushing you to achieve this dream. Maybe someone else is pushing you to achieve this dream. But does that dream actually belong to you? If that person was not in your life, would that dream still be yours? Okay. So take a deeper look at your jar of dreams. What are my dreams? And again, this is triggering your house of dreams. This is triggering your house of subconscious tendencies. Okay? So I truly hope this reading helped. This feels like a very powerful reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. I hope you have a wonderful month, and we will see you next time.